deal with growth better. Earth deals with growth. Plants, trees and stuff, humans, everything grow on Earth. That's an Earth energy. Not Mars, not Venus, Earth. Don't get naive just because you live on Earth to think that you have to separate Earth from the other planetary alignments. No, it's still in alignment with everything else. It has its own energy just like all the other planets got their own energy. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to break down the planetary family. Now, Earth, like I was saying, you know, Earth wants everybody right now to be in a situation where change is good. You know what I'm saying? Change is good. And just like when I was getting back to the water sign, that's the reason why you can see water. You don't have to open up no portal to see water, or you don't have to open up no portal to see solid, because this realm of reality and density we in on Torah, Gaia, calls for that. You know what I'm saying? She rules that. Water and earth and stuff like that. So you're able to physically see earth and water. You're able to physically see that in the dimension you're in. You're able to physically see earth and water go through 3 forms. So you can't do that with air. You can't do that with fire. Fire haven't made it to this density yet. If you're an ant, or you like your spirit in hell, then that's when you're going to see fire like that. You know what I'm saying? To the point that you're burning eternity. It take a long time to cool off. Take a long time for heat or something like that. And then it's in that reality as density. Like, we may be a human naive to the fact that us just scraping the ground may be excruciating to a bug. And it may be hurting. And it may be heat-like. And it may be fire-like. You know what I'm saying? Hot like. What you do when you rub your hands together? You feel the heat. Don't you think just scraping the ground and then the capacity of an ant or a bug that small, don't you think that's going to emit heat? Some type of spark? You see what I'm saying? So, you have to understand that earth and water is the only thing you can see change from 3 forms, which is solid, liquid, and gas. You can melt a rock and see it physically. Like I said, you need fire to open that portal though to see that change. See? You can melt a rock, right? The rock could get melted, turn into ashes, right? Start to get back to dust, to air, right? And then it gets back to a solid because it was a rock in the first place. You could freeze water, make it solid, right? You can melt water, right? Need the fire again, right? Need another See? I'm gonna tell y'all niggas something. You know what I'm saying? You can melt water and have it back to fluid. And you can heat water up to a certain degree that it goes back into a gas. So these are forms that come from all these other forms like fire, earth, water, air. Yeah, they all from the same place. It's just in this reality, earth and water is brought down into more density. And by you being a human and you live on earth, you're able to experience that because you're able to see earth and water change through 3 forms. You can't do that with gas and air. Not yet. Not yet. You see what I'm saying? And when I say that, and I meant fire. You know what I'm saying? Fire and air. And when I say that, I don't want people to say that. I don't want you to think that just because you're an air and you're a fire sign, you're more important than anybody. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that. That just means you see things and perceptions that, well, if you're a fire sign, that just means you see things and perceptions that maybe an earth sign may not see. You know what I'm saying? And then from an air sign, air may be able to communicate an idea that an earth sign had to a fire sign because the fire sign burns through reality. So they're not able to think about solid like that. Air consumes the solid. Remind you, air is lower density of gas or space. So air consumes the earth, but it's not outside of earth. At least not that density of a gas. So air can only fly, but they're not going to be super spiritual like fire signs. Because see, the fire goes a little higher than earth. You can see a fire in space. You can look at the sun and see heat and light in space. Can't see air. So air only can fly and communicate about practical things. It can give you ideas about space because it's almost there. It's just beneath it though. Once you start talking about other shit that goes into faith and spirituality and shit like that, then that's when you're going to lose an air sign. But they can give you ideas of how you thinking about that though, because they just there. The clouds is just there. It's just still in this circumference around the earth. So they know how to give you a lot of ideas about things that's already on earth. about how to go get a job, how to go get some money, how to come up with creative shit on Earth and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Then they could tell you a little bit about the space and stars and stuff, but once you start trying to add extra meaning, see, that's when we start to tie faith, spirituality, the spirit, the fire, the dancing. That's when we start to add that to it. Once you start doing that, you're gonna lose an air sign. And if you want to look at it in this density, that's just a different expression of fire going way above Earth and air not being able to travel that far. And once they go that far, they have to circle around and come up through a circular thing again. And that circular, that ain't nothing but conversations, ideas, agreements, relating about the same thing. That's all that is. They're not able to speculate. You see what I'm saying? So this is a different thing. You know what I'm saying? When you talk about the elements and how they correlate with each other, everyone has their gifts. Everyone has their fall shorts. And I know I got into a whole nother thing, but I hope this is able to help y'all even not even need to come to my channel every day just to learn what's going on with the energy. You're able to know your signs, know what's going on today, and from my channel, you're able to learn how to relate it to each other. You know what I'm saying? So all I need is your energy to be like, yeah, that is a concept. That's all I need. That's all. I'm happy. That is my receiving. You know what I'm saying? That is my beneficial. So, you know, that's today's weekly reading. We're going to get into each individual sign so we can get more into detail. And, you know, that's Archangel Uriel. Flight boss, bitch. And that's it. Goddamn.